I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't confront her. I just smiled and reread the prenup. Because the moment I found out my wife was cheating, I realized something. She thought she was smart. But I was about to become dangerous, legally. Welcome to New Drama Stories. If you enjoy emotional stories with deep twists, slow burn revenge, and powerful endings, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this channel is all about stories that stay with you. Now let me tell you how my wife destroyed our marriage, and how I let her destroy herself. When I met Olivia, I was 31. I had just sold my first company, moved into a quiet neighborhood, and promised myself I wouldn't rush into anything serious again. She was working at a cafe near my office. Soft voice. Sharp eyes. The kind of smile that made you forget what you were saying mid-sentence. She remembered my name after the second visit. By the fifth, she remembered my order. By the 10th, she was sitting with me on her break. We talked about everything. Books, childhood, dreams. She told me she wanted stability. A real future. No games. I believed her. 6 months later, we were inseparable. A year later, we were married. And yes, there was a prenup. Not because I didn't trust her, but because my lawyer insisted. He said, love is emotional. Contracts are logical. Never mix the two. Olivia laughed when I brought it up. You think I'm marrying you for money? She asked. I told her no. She signed it without even reading it. That should have been my first warning. The first 2 years were perfect. Or at least, convincing. She laughed at my jokes. Held my hand in public. Texted me during the day just to say she missed me. She said I made her feel safe. Then slowly, things changed. She stopped texting as much. Started locking her phone. Taking calls in another room. I didn't panic. I trusted her. Then came the late nights. Girls' nights that ended at 3 a.m. Work. Meetings. On weekends. A new password on her phone. Still, I said nothing. Because when you love someone, you explain their red flags away. She's stressed. She needs space. I'm overthinking. Until one night, I wasn't. It was 1:42 a.m. She was asleep beside me. Her phone buzzed. Once. Then again. I didn't mean to look. I really didn't. But I saw the name. Ethan. Her ex. The one she told me was ancient history. The one she said broke her heart. The one she swore she hadn't spoken to in years. The message preview lit up her screen. I still remember how you used to fall asleep on my chest. My chest tightened. I unlocked her phone, and my entire marriage collapsed in 10 seconds. I didn't wake her up. That's the part that still scares me. Most people would have exploded, thrown the phone, started screaming. I didn't. I sat there, scrolling. Message after message. Weeks. Months. Not flirting. Not reminiscing. Planning. Meetups. Hotel rooms. I miss you. I wish I never married him. He doesn't understand me like you do. I was lying right next to her while she typed those words. She used emojis. Smiling ones. Heart ones. I memorized every detail. Then I locked her phone. Placed it back exactly where it was. And went to sleep. The next morning, she kissed me on the cheek. Morning, babe. I smiled. Made her coffee. Asked her about her day. She told me she had a long meeting and might be late. I nodded. Take your time. And that's when I understood something. She wasn't just cheating. She was comfortable. For the next 2 weeks, I became invisible. Not emotionally. Strategically. I laughed more. Complimented her more. Took her on dates. Bought her flowers. She thought I was scared of losing her. In reality, I was studying her. Her patterns. Her lies. Her tells. She always touched her necklace when she lied. She blinked faster when she was hiding something. She over-explained when she felt guilty. I started logging everything. Dates. Times. Locations. I installed a tiny voice recorder in my car. Not illegal. Not invasive. Just smart. I knew she'd slip. And she did. One night, she got into the car, flustered. Her phone rang. Ethan. She didn't answer. But she sighed. And said out loud, without realizing I was recording. I can't keep lying forever. Then she laughed. But God, he's so stupid. That sentence changed me. That night, while she slept, I opened the prenup. For the first time in 2 years. I read every word. Slowly. Carefully. Line by line. And that's when I found it. Clause 14b. Infidelity with documented evidence. If proven, she forfeits. Spousal support. Shared property rights. Any claim to my business holdings. And most importantly, She must repay any joint funds used for extramarital activity. Hotels, trips, gifts, everything. She didn't just lose. She owed. I leaned back in my chair and smiled. Because she thought she was getting away with everything. She didn't know. I was about to let her. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because confrontation would have warned her. And I needed her comfortable. So I became the perfect husband. I stopped asking questions. Stopped checking in. Stopped caring. On the surface. I gave her freedom. And people always reveal themselves when they think they've won. She started staying out later. Stopped hiding her phone. Started dressing differently. Not for me. For him. She'd come home glowing. Tired. But light. Like she had a second life. And she did. She didn't know I had access to our shared credit card statements. Hotel bookings. Restaurants. Gifts. She used my money to cheat. And she didn't even feel guilty. One night, she told me she was going to a work conference. 3 days. Out of town. I smiled. Kissed her forehead. Have fun. Then I booked a private investigator. Not to stalk. Just to verify. And he did. Photos. Time stamped. Her holding Ethan's hand. Her kissing him. Her checking into a hotel with him. She even wore the necklace I bought her for our anniversary. When I saw the photos, I didn't feel angry. I felt clear. Like fog lifting. I wasn't losing my wife. I was losing a liar. So I started laying the trap. Quietly. I scheduled a meeting with my lawyer. Showed him everything. The messages. The receipts. The photos. The recordings. He raised an eyebrow. She has no idea, does she? I shook my head. He smiled. She's about to. Then I did something evil. I encouraged her. I told her she deserved a vacation. Told her she should find herself. Told her I trusted her. She cried. Said I was the best husband. Said she didn't deserve me. She was right. I even met Ethan. Accidentally. She introduced him as a friend. I shook his hand. Looked him in the eyes. And said, take care of her. He smirked. I smiled. He had no idea what was coming. I began moving money. Legally. Quietly. Assets into protected accounts. Property into trusts. Everything according to the prenup. By the time she realized what was happening, there would be nothing left to grab. Then one night, she made her first mistake. A big one. She came home drunk. And careless. She climbed into bed. Wrapped her arms around me. And whispered, I love him, but I need you. That was the moment. Not because it hurt, but because it proved everything. She didn't love me. She loved my life. I chose a random Tuesday. Not a holiday. Not an anniversary. Not a dramatic date. Just a normal day. That's what made it perfect. She came home that evening glowing. Happy. Relaxed. Probably fresh from seeing him. She dropped her purse, kicked off her heels, and smiled. You look serious, she said. I am, I replied. She tilted her head. Is everything okay? I nodded. Actually, I think we should talk. She froze for half a second. Not long enough to be obvious. But I saw it. We sat on the couch. I held her hand. And I lied. I feel like we've been drifting, I said. I don't want to lose you. Her eyes softened. She squeezed my hand. Oh baby, I've been feeling that too. Liar. I leaned forward. I've been thinking about us. About our future. Her breathing slowed. She thought this was a proposal moment. Or a baby talk moment. Or a renewal moment. I smiled gently. I want us to be honest with each other. She nodded quickly. Yes, of course. So I asked. Is there anyone else? She didn't even hesitate. No. Not a pause. Not a blink. Not a flinch. Just a clean, confident lie. I nodded. Okay. That was it. No fight. No accusations. No tears. She looked relieved. She thought she'd passed. The next morning, she kissed me goodbye. Said she loved me. Said she was meeting friends. I said, take your time. Then I went to my lawyer. And filed. She didn't know. Not yet. The papers were prepared. The evidence was organized. The prenup was highlighted. Clause 14b. Printed. Enlarged. Framed. Almost. I didn't block her. Didn't ghost her. Didn't confront her. I let her keep cheating. Because every hotel stay, every gift, every dinner, was more money she'd owe me. She was digging her own grave. And paying for the shovel. Then she made the second mistake. She told Ethan she wanted to leave me. She told him she'd get half. She told him she'd be rich. She told him she'd finally be free. He believed her. So did she. So I invited them both to dinner. Separately. At the same restaurant. Same time. Different tables. I arrived early. I always arrive early when something matters. I chose a quiet restaurant with soft lighting and white tablecloths. The kind of place people think is romantic, until it isn't. I sat where I could see the entrance. Then I waited. She arrived first, wearing the dress I once told her made her look like a dream. She smiled when she saw me. "You're early," she said. "I wanted to talk," I replied. She relaxed. She thought this was about us. 10 minutes later, Ethan walked in. She didn't see him. But I did. And he saw me. I waved. He looked confused. Then he saw her. And his face changed. She followed my eyes. Turned. Saw him. And froze. Her smile died instantly. "What is this?" she whispered. I leaned back. "This is honesty," I said. She stood up. "What the hell is he doing here?" I looked at Ethan. "You should probably sit," I told him. He hesitated. Then did. I pulled out a folder. Thick. Heavy. I placed it on the table. Slowly. Like a judge setting down a gavel. "You've been cheating on me," I said calmly. She laughed nervously. "This isn't funny." I agree. I slid the first photo toward her. Her and Ethan. Holding hands. Then another. Kissing. Then another. Hotel entrance. Room key visible. Her face drained. "This is illegal," she said. I smiled. "No. This is documented." Then I slid the messages. Printed. Highlighted. Time stamped. Her words. His replies. Ethan looked at her. "You told me he was abusive." She snapped her head toward him. "I never said that." I slid another page. She had. Then I placed the prenup on the table. Opened. Highlighted. Clause 14b. I read it out loud. Slowly. So no one could misunderstand. By the time I finished, she was shaking. "You lose the house. You lose spousal support. You lose any claim to my business. And you owe back every dollar you spent cheating. Hotels, trips, gifts, flights, everything." Ethan laughed. Then stopped. When he realized she wasn't rich anymore. She was in debt. "You said you'd be set for life," he said. She stared at him. Then she looked at me. Cried. Begged. "I made a mistake." I nodded. "Yes. But this is too much," she whispered. I leaned forward. "No," I said. "This is exactly enough." Court didn't look like the movies. No dramatic music. No shouting. No emotional speeches. Just quiet rooms. Cold chairs. And consequences. She came in confident. Wearing her best suit. Holding Ethan's hand like armor. She thought she still had control. She thought I was bluffing. Her lawyer opened first. He painted me as cold. Distant. Unloving. Said she was lonely. Said she needed emotional support. Said mistakes happen. Then my lawyer stood up. And calmly dismantled her story. Photo by photo. Message by message. Receipt by receipt. Time stamped. Verified. Unavoidable. She started crying halfway through. Real crying. Not fake. Not dramatic. Just broken. Then the judge read the prenup. Out loud. Clause 14b. Every word. Slow. Clear. She lost. The house. The car. Any claim to my business. Any spousal support. And then, the reimbursement. She owed me 6 figures. 6. Ethan stood up. And walked out. Didn't look back. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't apologize. She collapsed. Not emotionally. Physically. Her knees buckled. Her world ended in a courtroom. Later that night. She called me. From an unknown number. Sobbing. Saying she still loved me. Saying she'd change. Saying she made a mistake. I listened. Then I said, "I didn't destroy you. You just finally met consequences." And I hung up. 3 months later, I sold the house. Moved. Started fresh. I ran into Ethan once. At a grocery store. He looked worse. Older. Tired. He said, "She ruined my life." I replied, "No. She just showed you who she was." And then, one night, I realized something. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't bitter. I wasn't even sad. I was free. For a long time, I thought revenge would feel loud. Like fireworks. Like victory music. Like some dramatic moment where I'd finally feel whole again. But it didn't. It felt quiet. I moved into a small apartment near the edge of the city. Nothing fancy. No memories. No ghosts. Just clean walls and open windows. The first night there, I sat on the floor with a takeaway box and realized something strange. I wasn't checking my phone. I wasn't waiting for her to text. I wasn't anxious. I was calm. That scared me more than the betrayal ever did. Because calm felt unfamiliar. For weeks, I replayed everything in my head. What I missed, what I ignored, what I explained away. And then one night, I stopped. Because I realized something important. She didn't trick me, she showed me, and I chose to finally see. People asked if I missed her. I didn't. I missed who I thought she was. But that woman never existed. I started doing things alone. Coffee at sunrise, long walks, late night reading. And for the first time in years, I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I wasn't trying to be enough. I already was. One evening, I passed a mirror in my apartment and caught my own reflection. And I looked lighter. Not happier. Not healed. Just lighter. Like I had finally put something down. Months later, I received an email. From her. Long. Emotional. Apologetic. She said she was in therapy. She said she understood now. She said she wanted forgiveness. I read it, closed it, and deleted it, not out of anger. Out of closure. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reopening a door. Sometimes it just means not carrying the weight anymore. I learned something from all of this. Love should never make you feel small. Trust should never feel dangerous. And peace should never feel unfamiliar. If you're listening to this and you've been betrayed, if you've been lied to, if you've been made to feel like you weren't enough, I want you to hear this. You didn't lose them. They lost you. Thank you for listening to this story on New Drama Stories. If this story moved you, helped you, or made you feel less alone, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. More stories are coming. Stronger, deeper, more real. This isn't the end. It's just the beginning.